Bonus week here on Chasing Birdies. You guys tuning in today, we appreciate it very much. And we got an episode filling in this weekend on Thursday. Not our typical week, but we're happy to be here with you all listening today. And Pep, my man, it's like I haven't seen you forever. I'm being sarcastic. I'm being fucking sarcastic.
You're being very sarcastic. Yes,
I am.
I feel like we're seeing each other more and more.
It's insane, dude.
Well, what's that hoodie you got on?
Pronghorn, Hank Ashworth, Yardage Co. Speaking of hoodies, dude, freaking frost is lighting it up nowadays. I mean, as we inch closer to winter.
Yeah, and as always, I mean, today's episode is brought to you by Red Vanley. Make sure you go to redvanley.com. Our boys, Jim, Dan, and Andrew hooked us up and for the fall, man. And I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. Corduroy pants, the pull-ons, like you mentioned in the last episode.
They're nice.
Get my hands on a pair of those. They're like sweatpants, which is a little scary. So I'll be wearing those to bed. I'll be wearing corduroy pants to bed, boys. Some new fresh hoodies they sent, and some, of course, some of the new polos. So we're dialed in for the fall and our January golf trip. So
we're dialed in, buddy. We're dialed in. And we're inching closer to the end of golf season. But as always here, with it being football season, we like to recap a little bit here. And
a lot's changed since last Saturday, bud.
Yeah, there was a fun weekend of watching football.
2 Saturdays ago, I guess, when we had success.
Yeah, correct. College football, NFL, the full slate. Hockey's back in the mix. But it was not that great of a weekend until... let's just call it the fourth quarter on Sunday when the 4 o'clock games ended. But for you and I on Saturday, it was just not, it wasn't great. I was surprised Ohio State and Oregon. I really thought, I'm not a Buckeyes fan, but I just thought that game would have been a little bit more out of reach for Oregon per se. But surprising.
Well, how about that? They're talking about the play that coach did. He took the 5-yard penalty with throwing a 12th man on. I mean, that's some... You got to know your stuff.
And here's an interesting one. Army and Navy are both ranked inside the top 25 headed into this weekend. That's the first time they've together been ranked since 1960.
And Pitt went 6-0.
Pitt 6-0.
And then you went to the Mountaineers game on Saturday. A little tough go for the boys.
Yeah,
and
well.
It was tough to watch. And but I'll tell you what, they look pretty fresh in those unis.
The black Coal Rush unis were looking good. And
did you see the coal miners walking into the game?
Yeah.
I had to laugh because they were all walking up like where the players walk up, and there was not one coal miner that didn't have a Michelob Ultra in his hand.
Yeah, that or Bud Light. I know. It was electric. The environment was great, but the outcome was awful, and it's tough, dude. So basically now it's you got 3 losses. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. There's really nothing to talk about in that regard with West Virginia football.
Yeah, Saturday was a debacle for us. I mean, you might as well have closed our eyes and picked games, which we might start doing. Sunday, though, I fell asleep for the 4 o'clock games. I took a little cat nap at 3:45, missed the games to put my bets in. But you had a nice little run, and then the Steelers got back on track.
Yeah, but did they really? Nah.
Again, did they really? Because, you can't... Oakland sucks, dude.
I mean, well, first off, it's Vegas. But anyways, yes, to your point, yeah. But it's not... It wasn't a dominating win. Granted, they won, but it's still funny. I was thinking when they recovered that fumble, like down on the goal line, 9-yard line, I'm like, well, there's probably a great chance here they're just going to settle for a field goal. I mean, it's 1st and goal from the 9, and right then and there when you're watching that game that there's a 10% chance they score a touchdown here, and yeah, they didn't. They kicked the field goal, so that won't fly against the Baltimore Ravens in our division. That won't fly against playing the Chiefs later on in the year. So there's, other than the win, which a win's a win, it wasn't in impressive fashion. If
I'll tell you this much. I think they had 3 delay a game penalties on their offense.
Mm-hmm.
That is pure, and I'm not that big of I don't know that much about football, but that is pure being unprepared.
Oh yeah, they look aloof. There's no two ways about it. But Detroit absolutely waxed Dallas.
Did you see Hutchinson's?
I didn't see it. I saw it, but I didn't see it.
I watched it.
Probably brought back memories for you.
I might reach out to him and give him a few pointers on what to do and how to get through it, boys.
That was a game I was sitting looking at and going, okay, Dallas at home plus 3.5. I mean, I was like, I think Dallas, but I went against what I thought, which is probably good, and that's why I chose Detroit, get on the right side of the coin flip there. But I would have been so mad had I really actually taken Dallas, because they looked like they were asleep. I watched that game too. They looked like they were just sleeping out there. But Sunday was all about fun. We got to play a little G up at Nemacolin. I tell you what, dude, the wind was it was blowing 35, 40. You played pretty good. I did not play pretty good, but I still feel like, yeah, fall golf is where it's at.
I'll tell you, it was even though it was gusting, it was a beautiful day. Had some friends of yours play with us, and that was fun to meet them. And yeah, I mean, if the wind was 15 miles an hour, it would have been a 10 out of 10 day. Now, It was an 8 out of 10 day because of it. I mean, your hat, but I almost threw that thing in the lake. Yeah. I'm not exaggerating. That thing fell off 4 times because of the wind in the first 5 holes.
Yeah.
So you had to put the old ponytail in.
Yeah, put the ponytail, high pony, pulled it through the back of the cap, and we were good to go. But, yeah, it was a fun overall weekend. We're getting ready to kick it off again this weekend here, guys. But before we do so, let's get into the important aspect of today, aside from Pep and I just talking. It's our guest today, Brian Mitchell, former Washington Redskin Commanders, whatever you still want to call them, NFL player, but involved in a lot of charitable work right now, especially on the aspect of motivational speaking, working as a broadcaster, empowering women in businesses, and has been involved in a plethora of golf tournaments. And as you listen, you understand he is frankly a golf addict. He's played pretty much a lot of the spots around here, places across the country. But I think he got called in as a QB back in the day in what was called the body bag game. I read that fact about him because he was like the third QB emergency quarterback at that time. Set 2 NFL records with kick return, punt returns.
He still has them, doesn't he?
Still has them, yeah.
So that's kind of nice.
So let's go on and get this thing kicking here with Brian Mitchell here on Chasing Birdies. All right, you guys out there tuning in today to Chasing Birdies. We are joined by a special guest, Brian Mitchell, former NFL running back, and now doing a lot of charitable work in his life and endeavors and whatnot. So he's chasing birdies in life. Brian, B. Mitch, as James said, great to have you on the show, and thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I got to say something quickly here because you took your hat off. You had the Commander's hat on.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that's where you kind of played and whatnot, but the boys are looking good this year.
They are, and I expected this team to come out and set a great foundation. I did not expect them to be playing so well so soon, but I will accept it because I've cheered a lot of years when they weren't very good. And right now it seems to be this coaching staff have these guys working, and Jaden Daniels is playing unbelievable as a rookie quarterback. He's doing some amazing things.
It's fun to watch because, I would put we're in Pittsburgh, so we're Steelers fans, and we've had some success. We've had a lot more success than negative things go on in Pittsburgh Steelers organization. But you look at the Cleveland Browns, the Washington, I guess the Redskins or the Commanders. Yeah. So whenever you have these kind of successes, it's fun to watch. And this Jaden Daniels, like you had mentioned, man, it's a blast. I'm not even a fan of the Commanders, but it's a blast to watch it.
It is, and me, I'm 56 years old now, and I laugh when I call kids. I call the guys on the team kids, in their 20s and 30s and things like that. But ultimately, I got here as a 21, 22-year-old and played with some unbelievable guys, Darryl Green and Art Monk and, Ernest Byner and guys like that. And, I know what success is in this area. We won the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? And I know how the fans are. And it's been since 1992. They haven't been to something like that, and consistently going to the playoff. That hadn't happened either. So to see him playing well and seeing this, you see them like they want to erupt. But a lot of people are still, they got PTSD. They're worried about the last 20 plus years. But ultimately, when you get guys like Jaden Daniels on your team, you get guys like a Frankie Louvu on your team, or Austin Eckler, and Bobby Wagner, those guys that they just work. They understand if I put in work, something may come at the end. They're not thinking about what's going to come at the end. They're going to do what they need to do right now. And I always tell people, I read this book called The Present. If I'm worrying about yesterday or tomorrow, I will not be interested on doing what I need to do today to make sure I don't live the same things I did in the past. I think that's exactly what those guys do. And I'm happy. It makes me feel good to now be able to go around when somebody says something about the Commanders, I can speak up instead of cowering to the side because we wouldn't do it very well.
So let me ask you, because and again, you just said the kids, and they're not kids, but I'm going to call you an old timer. You're not really an old timer, but I'm going to call you an old timer. So as an old timer, and we got some stuff going on in Pittsburgh right now with the wide receiver and Pickens. I don't think that kind of stuff would fly back in the day with a lot of you guys, right? Because it wasn't about me. It was about us as a team. How did you guys handle those personalities, if there were even those personalities back in the day?
Well, they had personalities back in the day. Listen, man, they had a lot of guys on the Washington Redskins at the time that were those type of guys. But, the veteran guys basically ran the football team. And I think in Pittsburgh, you got a coach who doesn't take much BS. And True. I think the ultimate thing today is that, people are so concerned with the stars and, how much money they're paying people. I think ownership messes up football today. Because back in the day, when the coach got you, that was the final say. You know what I mean? And your job is to play football. Today, I think guys care more about other stuff than they do playing football. And we call it the kangaroo court. If you got out of line, the veteran guys got you in line. And I quickly realized that with the guys, and I became one of those type guys in my third, fourth year, because when you become a leader of the team, they want you to help lead the team. And a lot of coaches today are afraid to let players lead the team because coaches are so worried about getting the credit for everything.
And I think, too,
ego.
With college nowadays, I think these guys are so focused on their brand instead of, actually focusing on the football. And I think that's what has a lot to do with it as well, because they're so concerned about their brand. Somebody in Pittsburgh, I left town today and I was listening to radio and they were talking about Pickens and would this fly when James Ferrier, Casey Hampton, Jerome Bettis, Ben Roethlisberger, Hines Ward, the names go on. Would this last in there? And they said
Kevin Green. I'll take you farther back.
They said James Harrison would just need one afternoon with this guy, and he would never act like that again.
But a lot of receivers, that's their mindset, and I think when the guy can be like Gary Clark was fiery, but Gary Clark was always a team player. Some of these guys get fiery and they get a little selfish. You all dealt with it with
AB.
Antonio Brown. He started off
all world
where it seemed about the team, and then all of a sudden he just flipped and became like it's about him. But the thing I was a quarterback in high school and college, and I understand. I was nothing without the rest of the guys on my offense. My offensive line don't block. I don't have much time. My receivers don't catch. I'm throwing the ball to the ground, and if I didn't have guys, running backs being able to do their job to take pressure off me, it was nothing. And then I get to the league and I'm a return man. I needed them to help me. And I think once you think like that and you give credit to those guys, they'll go to the end of the world for you. And a lot of guys don't understand that.
I always say, were you a punt returner or a kickoff?
Me, I was a football player. I did both of them, though.
You did both of them? I got to be honest.
I like the grit.
I'd be so scared on a punt return. You're looking straight up in the air, and this ball's coming in, and the defenders are coming at you a million miles an hour, boys.
But they can't hit me until I catch the ball. And once I catch the ball and I see them, they got to worry about me more than I got to worry about them.
No, that's
I love it.
It is true, though. I mean, just, in our era right now, with what you mentioned earlier about how these guys aren't totally focused on what they're doing. This is their career. This is their livelihood. This is their job at the end of the day. And they kind of make it out like, and I get it. They are celebrity. They have celebrity status to a degree. But yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster several years ago, I mean, he was worried about his TikTok channel and playing video games and all that jazz. And it's like, brother, man, let's just play some football, man.
Listen,
because,
man, it hasn't changed. It's still about putting in work, working hard. Like I remember 1991 when we were on our Super Bowl run. And Monty Coleman stated, he said, listen, man, this is the time you got to sacrifice. He said, do everything you can just for the team. You win this game, you'll live on this the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. That was 1991. It is 2024. People still treat me well and discuss that game, winning that season. Many people believe the best Super Bowl team ever because we all focused on and we cared about each other. I think guys don't understand. And in this day and age, let's be real. A lot of players in the league, they make money. Just because they make money, they think they've arrived. Just like, all these people that, I got 1 million followers, 999,000 of them don't like you. So who cares? The ultimate thing is still, you got to be out there working for the team. This is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. And Jaden Daniels, a young guy on his team, this guy is coming in for something in the morning. When you see a rookie doing something like that, and your star quarterback, second pick of the first round, when that guy does it, the rest of the guys fall in line.
Mm-hmm. I saw that about him getting in there at 4 a.m. He does his film, he does his stretches before anybody gets there.
Yeah, that's when the work gets put in. Have you had any interactions with him?
Yes. I mean, and listen, straight down to earth, has no ego or no qualms about it. All the guy wants to do is play football and win.
That's right.
I saw a quote where he said, I don't talk trash, I just smile and laugh. If you watch him, he's always smiling and laughing. And what happens with that? You see him playing, he's enjoying himself. As a teammate, you want to enjoy yourself. As a fan, you begin to like him and you want to enjoy it. You want him to do well. That's the same way I feel. My best friend lives in Louisiana, where I'm from. He's like, man, when this guy Jaden Daniels get up there, you're gonna be impressed. And everything he's told me, I've been more than impressed, even more than what he said, because the kid just wants to play ball, wants to go out there and be great. And many people want to be great, but they don't want to put the work in to be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're right. The work aspect is something, but I will say, within the last couple of years, in my mind, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that there's been a rookie quarterback that has had an impact on a team like Jaden Daniels had. I mean,
last year, C.J. Stroud.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't start off very fast. But like this right here, man, listen, 5 weeks, 4 Rookie of the Weeks.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff that hadn't been done before. And we don't know where it's going to end up. But I would go out on a limb and say, knowing how he works, knowing the person, and knowing how his upbringing is. I talked with T.J. Houshmandzadeh, who grew up in the area where he's from. Yeah. He was praising the kid. And I watch how his dad and his mom, you just watch him and you know that he's been raised right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's the great thing where we've had some guys come in here at quarterback that cared about them and didn't care about the team. He cares about the team. Yeah, he wants to be great, but you know what? He does everything he needs to do with the team, not by himself. And we know we've seen quarterbacks do that.
Yeah. No, that's good. I'm happy for y'all. And I know just anytime you get your sports team kind of headed in the right direction, it obviously makes the whole, your whole town, your whole city, whatever. Yeah. It's just a lot of fun. So for you, after the NFL, what did you find yourself getting into? I mean, transitioning from playing the sport that you loved to now real life, what was that transition like for you?
You know what? It wasn't terrible. I had majored in chemical engineering and business, and I'm happy as hell. I never worked in nothing in those things ever in my life. When I was playing ball, I started doing radio and TV. I did Monday night show for radio, and every Sunday during the season I would go into the TV station and do 15 minutes on the news. And then when I left the game, I ended up doing the same thing. That's what I'm doing now. I do radio, I do TV. I do a lot of speaking engagements and things like that. But I wanted to stay close to this sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I came out of high school, I told my teacher I wanted to major in journalism, broadcast, things like that. She said, "Oh, no, you're going to major in engineering," because I was great in math and science. I did it, because my brother was an engineer. But once I got to the league and I would hear people discussing football in such a negative way, and I wanted to have a voice. And I guess this was my calling because this was what I first wanted to do.
I think that's, with this show, we've had it for about 3+ years, and you talk to a lot of ex-athletes, baseball, hockey. A lot of them are involved in their sport in some capacity still because it makes you feel like you're still part of the game. Yeah, you're retired, but for you, let's just say you go to the Commanders field every Sunday, you feel like, man, I'm putting my nice suit on and I'm going to go down and I'm going to call the game or whatever. You feel like you're in the game still, and that's exciting for you still. It
is, and it was a time in this area. It was a time in this area where a lot of veteran players and former players were not allowed to be a part of it. And ever since they've hired Dan Quinn and Adam Peterson's come in, they have invited the old guys back in. And a lot of guys are working in the media stuff, doing content. Awesome. A lot of people are coming in and speaking to them. And it does make you feel good because when you help build something, if I'm in my basement right now, you look around here, there's a lot of stuff where I'll put some work in to help this team go where it went. And it's disappointing when you're not allowed to be a part of it. Now, with the new ownership and all, we are allowed to be a part of it. And anything I can, I will do to make sure this team can get back to where it was.
So are you working for the organization or do you have your own? Okay.
Well, I have my own radio show, but then I do pre and post game stuff for the team on the weekend. Fantastic. So go on the road with them and things like that, and get a chance to how I'm now with some of the guys on the team.
Yeah.
One of the guys grew up in my hometown, went to my college, and he's now with his team. So that's a hell of a similarity right there.
That is. I know that we'll be crossing paths this year at some point, not physically, but at least with our teams, because I know, the Steelers will face off against the Commanders at some point later in the season, I believe, playing the NFC East. But I don't know if it's away or if it's a home game. I don't know.
I can't remember. I try to go one game at a time like I'm still playing.
Yeah, it is.
Present moment, baby.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. So are you in D.C. now? I know you said you're from Louisiana originally.
I'm in Virginia. I live right outside of D.C., so right here in Virginia, about 15 miles from the facility where they practice at.
So with you now, kind of in this afterlife of not playing professionally, but you're still obviously relevant in that scene and whatnot. Mm-hmm. You have a love or a passion for the game of golf at all? You ever get out with some of the guys and play?
I'm out playing golf a lot. My two passions are playing golf and riding bicycles. And I will tell you why I got so. My mom and dad taught me to be a giver, and work with charity because, hell, I look at my life growing up. Yes, I wanted to be something. I never could imagine the things that I've gone through. And ever since I've made it, I can remember my dad said, when you're blessed, you should be a blessing. So now I play golf a lot because you can also have fun in a tournament and raise money for great causes. I ride bicycles where I've learned I can ride a bicycle 110 miles, and we raised in this one thing just earlier this year over $800,000. We did another 109 mile ride, raised over $400,000 for another charity. So this is what I like to do. I can have fun, get myself in shape while doing something positive for somebody that needs it.
We had another ex-NFL football player. He bicycle rides so that he can drink Dr. Pepper and eat Chick-fil-A, and that was Brian Urlacher. So Brian Urlacher, he rides his bike all the time, and that's what he said. He said, I basically ride my mountain bike so I can drink Dr. Pepper and eat Chick-fil-A all I want.
Well, I actually will ride from my house to Royal Farms. It's about a 15-mile ride to Royal Farms. Give me a 4-piece of chicken and I ride back home. But it's fun, It's a sport. Both of these sports are sports you can do the rest of your life.
That's
I
incredible.
ride with guys in their 60s and 70s. I play golf with guys 70s, 80s, and 90s. Some of the guys in the 70s still shoot their age as well. but you can do it the rest of your life, and it doesn't have a lot of impact on you. So this is 2 sports I've settled on, and I'm going to keep playing them because I've been hit enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
you're
don't
done
need
with
that.
that, man.
Yes.
So the charity aspect, and let me interject here because Pep's dad is 70, and
71.
and he's played 260 rounds of golf last year. He plays golf every day, and he shot his age recently.
He's broken his age. I think he broke his age twice last year.
See, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to get. But at 56, I don't think I can get it done.
Hey man, that's a hell. Wow, that's a hell of a round. If you do that, you let us know.
I would set a world record right there, buddy.
Yeah, 55. But no, so the charitable aspect of things, it's interesting you bring that up because my lady recently has got involved with WVU Medicine Children's Hospital.
Okay.
And, you know, she's like, the hospital is number one, it's the number one rated children's hospital, the only children's hospital in the state of West Virginia. Obviously, West Virginia being, for a lack of a better term, a poor state with respect to a lot of things. This hospital has provided so many people with resources to be able to come here as opposed to going to Pittsburgh for childcare.
Yeah.
And so she kind of had this idea to get involved. She wants to do some charity work. So she comes home from the meeting one day and she said, "You'll never guess what I'm chairing." And I said, "What?" And she said, "They want to do a golf tournament to raise money for the hospital, and they want her to chair it." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Well, that's great." So now the next question was, how can I help? And I'm like, well, shit, that's a great question because I've never really done that before.
Yeah.
So long story short, the hospital has partnered with Jack Nicklaus Foundation, Play Yellow.
Yeah.
And they have a couple of their ambassadors involved in that front. But my point to all this is when you talk about, you know, just golf and what it does, it's not just a sport that guys can go out or women can go out and play on a weekend and have a few casual drinks, maybe no drinks at all. There's more to it than that. It's a bigger game. The impact it has on people allows us to do things like what you've done with charitable work and golf tournaments. But so I'm kind of teetering on that a little bit, but it's an exciting thing to kind of dig in on.
If you really think about it, golf is a sport where you're out there 4.5 hours. If you're doing the charity, maybe 5.5, 6 hours. You have to talk to the person that you're working with, that you're out there with. And it's a sport where you could do a lot of networking, you know?
Oh.
And what is golf tournaments about? Networking. You know, you get people from different backgrounds. Like I'm a sport guy. You get a lot of business people out there. You get people that actually are in the business that you're dealing with and people that are also charitable people. You get all those people together and everybody has a common cause. I always tell people the way you do it, you get a great cause and you get the right people backing you. Like you said, Jack Nicklaus Foundation. You get the right people backing you, you can't fail. You know, it's a win-win all the way around. I've done golf tournaments now for well over, I got here in 1990. I started playing golf around 96, you know, and I've been doing golf tournaments since then. And I've been involved with golf tournament where we raised $750,000 for a tournament. We raised over $1 million for a tournament because you have the right cause and the right business people that want to make an impact on society. So it's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, no, and again, the cause for all that is just incredible, you know, to raise $750,000 for having a golf tournament.
Having a little fun.
That's it.
That's it.
Smoking a few cigars and raising money.
Totally.
What course, now when you do an event like that, or even when you go out, where are you pegging it up, or what? I'm trying to think of the course outside of Leedsburg. There's a course outside of Leedsburg.
Raspberry Falls.
No, it's
Lansdowne, River Creek. I know them all.
It's a beautiful course. A lot of beautiful homes on it. It's off this country road before you get in Leesburg, kind of somewhere around there. I want to say there's the word farms in it, but I don't know if that's Creighton Farms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played there.
About 10 miles from my house. I play there.
That is a beautiful track.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's a Jack Nicklaus course.
Yeah.
So everything's dogleg right.
We got a lot of those on the course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's a great track. So
what about, have you played Burning Tree?
I haven't played Burning Tree yet. That's one of my bucket list places to go play.
I love that logo.
Yeah,
Never
that's a nice one. There's a lot of good ones out there, though.
So with the PR group that you're working with or that you're involved with, because I understand through the communication we received about this and whatnot that you, and maybe this is not directly you, but you are putting on another golf event.
Yep.
And this is with Sugar Ray Leonard's Foundation or something to that effect.
Yep. So we're doing a tournament here where we're basically doing a lot of different things to help empower, working with women empowerment, to be totally honest with you. And I've been doing tournaments with, as you all know him, is a different name. I call him Bucky. And I also have another friend, Marquise, who teamed up with Sugar Ray Leonard Jr. And we've come together to try and do this tournament. And it's going to be at Lakewood Country Club over there in Rockville, Maryland. It's going. If you want to get more information, go to lsmcelebrityevents.perfectgolfevent.com. And people like myself, Sugar Ray Leonard Jr., you got Clinton Portis going to be there.
Oh,
yeah.
You got Marshall Falk there. Hell, we got baseball too. Johnny Damon, he'll be at the tournament. So this is about empowering women, and I think it's on October 21st. Listen, man, I've done a lot of tournaments there. They allow you to have fun. So you got to make the tournament fun. You know, music playing. You have all types of when you show up, you got a Bloody Mary bar in the beginning. They treat you very, very special. So the ultimate thing is show up for a great cause. Lady Lions of Baltimore and also Community Bridges of Silver Spring will be the two charities that are going to be getting the support from this one. So, hell, I say this, you know, my mom was one of the strongest people in the world for me. I knew how my dad respected my mom. You know, when my mom spoke, my daddy listened. So I believe in, like a lot of people have a problem with the lady being in charge or something like that. I believe that everybody should be empowered. If we empowered ourselves as men, we got to help empower women as well.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, my ears perked up a little bit to that Bloody Mary bar.
Oh, yeah. One thing about the golf tournaments that I've been involved with, it's a lot of libations. Shit like that.
So I might mosey on down there. You guys are going to be like, who's this guy? What's this guy doing? I'm just going to stand at the Bloody Mary bar.
Hey, man, come on down. I promise you'll come back again, and you can help us raise more money.
Love it.
Yeah, and if there's a way, you know, obviously this putting this episode out is going to get some publicity for the event, but, you know, if there's a way that we could help out by sponsoring and, you know, there's a sign put up or something, we'd be happy to do that too, Brian, so we can connect on that.
Oh, definitely.
You know, on that point there, but yeah, you make up. I always say that we're both, Jonathan and I full time are both in business. You know, we do this podcast on quote unquote the side, although it feels like a full time job. But I'm in the oil and gas business. He's in the jewelry business.
Gotcha.
So you know, when you talk about, especially the cultural shift in terms of women now, like the resort that we are partners with here in southwestern Pennsylvania, Nemacolin Resort.
Yeah, I play golf there too.
Have you?
Yes.
So it's beautiful.
Both courses.
Yeah,
Both
that's
courses.
awesome.
Where they had the 84 lumber tournament and then you got the links course. I played both of those courses.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I was just going to bring up Maggie. I mean, she is not only, she is a great person, you know what I mean? In general, she's just a great person, but you talk about power and you talk about determination and the ability to just continue to deal with adversity time and time again. She is. So, I mean, you're 100% right. Like the women in the world need to be recognized for the fact that they are valuable. They are powerful.
I just think the whole thing about it, and then this is where I learned, you know, I don't care what your race, your creed, your color, whatever. I don't care what any of that is. If you're given an opportunity, an equal opportunity to deal with something, I don't care if it's a man, woman, whatever, you know, but if the women are given the same opportunities as us, they can sit there and compete with us on a regular basis. You know, a lot of times they're a little bit more focused than we are. You know, and I believe in it because, like I tell you, the people in my life, my mom, my grandmother was the matriarch of like the neighborhood I lived on. It was all one way in, one way out. All family members, and nobody said nothing unless grandmama said it was okay to happen. You know, so I've grown up like that, and I believe in it. I have 3 daughters myself, and I want them to understand you can do whatever the hell you want to do. You know, nobody can tell you what you can't do. You know, go out there and just try to be your best. And I try to make sure they think like I do. I was a go-getter, and I want them to be the same way.
Well, you have a great personality. So, you know, pivoting off that point, you do some motivational speaking?
Yes, yes. I've spoken to a lot of different places from, Data Bank. Well, I do like the charities. I speak to some major businesses around. I speak at a lot of, different seminars and all that they have. And my whole thing is about a lot about teamwork and self-motivation. Because in society today, especially in business, you don't want to always have to tell somebody to go do something. You want people that can be self-starters. And that's the best. I think that's the best thing that helped me in my life. When I got to the NFL, being a former quarterback, when I was handed the playbook, I didn't wait for them to install the stuff. I started learning the playbook. So we got 2 weeks into me being up here, and Coach Gibbs said, "Well, I'm gonna need you to learn stuff because you're gonna be our emergency quarterback, play quarterback in college." I'm like, "Coach, I got the offense down already." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I went through the whole playbook. I learned everything." He said, "Why would you do that?" I said, "I'm a quarterback, man. Y'all got me playing just one position now. That's easy." So I learned the whole thing, what I have to do. And I was the emergency quarterback. But
that's awesome.
By week 10 of my rookie season, both quarterbacks got hurt. I finished the game at quarterback.
Did you?
Yes. So it's just like being ready for the situation. I mean, I don't care what you're doing. Somebody in football, someone will get hurt. And if you're not prepared, that could be your last chance. So you got to always be prepared. And definitely in business, the same thing. A lot of people, I didn't get a promotion. Well, did you do anything to show them that you deserve a promotion?
Right. Or a raise or any of that. They all want to come out of college and make $150,000 and be the CEO of dad's company.
Yeah. They want to be able to, they want to drive the nice car. They want to be able to go out to the nice dinners. But you're not putting in the work to be able to have the salary to be able to do all that stuff. So, I tell people, you got to sacrifice a little bit before you start going out there celebrating.
Yeah, and I think whenever you have a little adversity in your life, if you're getting started in the family business or anything, it's great for you long term. You've gone through it. You've experienced the highs, the lows. It's how you handle a lot of those too, right? It's easy to get real high, but when you're real low, you got to stay even keeled. And that's the same thing in sports too, right?
Totally. And that's the thing I love. Like, I go back to Jaden Daniels again, where they're like, "Man, this is a letdown game." He said, "Look, man, I always stay even keeled. So it's never a letdown to me." He said, "I don't get too high, I don't get too low. I stay even keeled." And if you got that personality, things are going to work out. I watched him. The first interception he threw, the camera went to his face, and you could see, you just see the intensity of someone's face, like, damn, I knew better. And after that, he has gone on a tear, dude. So I absolutely love it, where people hate losing more than they love winning. That changes. That shows you somebody that's real special.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite quotes is when things are going good, it's not really that good. And when things are going bad, it's not really that bad.
There you go. Somebody else has it worse or better than you, believe me.
Yeah, and it's perspective.
Yes.
And that brings, a point now to, like, with our youth in today's era. Jonathan has 2 young children, and, I've kind of raised, not kind of, but my lady has 2 young kids. And I do see the pivotal shift with respect to technology being injected on a day-to-day basis. And obviously there's good things about it in some respect with learning, but in our generation, and I'm saying collectively, you and Pep and I, we didn't have that ability to come home, pull up YouTube, sit there and watch shorts all day long, or get on TikTok and watch videos for 3 hours. And nor would we want to. We were outside being creative with our minds, playing in the woods, playing sports. And nowadays, you got these kids. Here's the screwed up part, in my opinion. Again, my opinion. You got these sports that now, or these kids that are playing sports, but they're only playing one sport. They're getting really good at one sport, whereas we used to play 3 or 4 different sports.
And they were seasonal. Like hockey, we played hockey. It was October to March. And then, you played golf or baseball until June. And then you had basketball season in the fall. It's just, I'm concerned for these kids that are playing one sport, baseball, one sport. And, these kids that are playing baseball year round, I'm watching it.
It wears them out.
It wears them out. We have some friends that are in the big league or played in the big leagues. And that's what he said. He said, dude, travel team at 7, 8 years old, it doesn't matter. That's not how they're going to – you don't know how good they're going to be until they're 14 years old. Don't burn them out right now. Let them have fun.
I think it's totally ridiculous. I think when you play all the sports, you develop much better. Your body begins to find out different things. If you play only certain sports, you only use certain muscles. And you watch, like when I was growing up, no kid I ever heard had to get Tommy John. You know, now kids are getting Tommy John in high school. It's normal. Or before high school. And it's a normal thing because they're overworking it. You know, and let's be real. A lot of the people that are running all these different types of things, they're selfish. They just want to cash in. You know, my daughters would cheer and dance, and believe me,
oh my God,
a lot of money in that. Well, I paid for a lot of damn college scholarships, tuitions already before they ever got to college, just because they want to dance and cheer all the time.
That's another one that I'm this dance stuff. It's like, and then then you bring it into the self-confidence, because then the social media, these young kids are posting, well, nobody's liking my post, I'm not pretty, or I'm not good looking. And it's just like, listen, be who you are, right? And I know I had a friend I'll read you what he signed to my son. My buddy plays professional hockey, and he signed a jersey to my son for his birthday. Mm-hmm. And it said, and I thought it was great. It said, "To Parker, I love watching you grow up. Never stop being you." Yeah. And I'm like, that's incredible. Just be you. And we get so caught up in all this other stuff.
Yeah.
See, the whole thing is this. My Doc Walker, guy who played for the Redskins before I got here, and I become great friends with him. He said, "Why would you go through life trying to impress people that you don't even know?"
Yeah.
You know, you got your mom, your dad, your friends telling you how great you are, and you care about all these people out in the world that you don't even know. And half of them don't care to help you out. They want to say something mean. Social media is just it's there for me. That you got a lot of good things that can happen on it, but mostly people are just out there just to be asses, point blank.
No, it is. And again, to my point, that what you just mentioned is going to affect the younger generation more than, like me, I'm 5'6", I'm not tall, but you know what? You can't offend me.
Yeah.
I will tell you that right now. You can't offend me.
Yeah,
Nobody, you can't. It's like, I'm pretty equanimous when it comes to my life. It's like, whatever. I'm just doing me. I'm me. And
but you know what? I'll say this. I went through an era where, remember when Charles Buckley said, I'm not a role model? He didn't mean he's not a role model. He knows he's a role model. He mean raise your own kids. You know what I'm saying? And I think then my parents raised me. I'm raising my kids. And I think there are a lot of parents today who their kids are raising them. Because the parents just see the kid, just like a lot of other people see the kid, as a dollar sign. So I'm saying? So now when your kids are on, you need to see how much social media they're taking in. You need to also be able to tell them right from wrong. Hell, I knew when Roadrunner dropped the anvil on Coyote, I knew Coyote wasn't going to die because it was TV. It's not real. I knew I couldn't go do that in real life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem, where we allow music, TV, and when it happens, we go, "Oh, they watch." Well, why are you letting them watch all that TV? Why are you not sitting there having a conversation with them? Talk to your kids. For anybody out there listening, talk to your damn kids. If you don't talk to your kids, you can't blame nobody but yourself. Can't blame anybody else.
So true. It's so true.
Yeah.
See, we're not just a golf podcast, people. We actually instill life values into you.
Hey, yes.
And believe me, I can't agree with you anymore. That's the truth. But no. So you mentioned you came over this way. You played Nemacolin.
Yes.
Have you played Pikewood National?
No, I never.
Have you heard of Pikewood?
I've heard of it. I never played it.
Well, that would be one. If you ever come back over this way, Brian, and you want to play Nemacolin, and would love to have you up there.
All you got to do is throw out the invite. I have
the
corporate ride.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because we always say that to our guests. We're like, "Hey, man, like we got to just peg it up sometime, man," because we obviously love playing golf, and everyone we have on loves playing golf.
I mean, seriously, it's been game is taking me everywhere, man. I've been over to Scotland and played a lot of these courses we see on TV. It was
That's
absolutely amazing, to go over there and play. And I've traveled all over this country playing in golf tournaments, traveling with my friends. It's a great sport. That sport is more about life than any sport out there.
It teaches you so many life lessons, yes.
Yeah, because you got to depend on you. You can't depend on nobody else if you're going to be good at it.
And you got to take care of the golf course, right? Replace your divots, fix you got to rake the bunkers. Like, it's almost like you got to take care of your room, the golf course.
Totally.
And you could find out a lot about people in 4.5 hours. Like, I could roll with this guy. I'll roll with this guy another round of golf. Like, I had a good time. Or, man, I hope this guy took a lot of photos because he's never coming back here, type thing. You know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you this. I had a secret kind of a job at one point where I had a friend of mine who would take me out to play with these prospective people that they were going to hire. And he wanted me to watch the guys, see what they're doing, because they worked in finance. And play with this one guy that was dropping balls all over the place, And that guy didn't get that damn job. Because I'm honest with him. I said, look, I'll let you know what's going on.
Right.
And I say, so what do you want this information for? He said, well, we may hire him or not based off of what you're telling us. Like, man, I don't call somebody a job. But then when you really start going through it, golf is supposed to be a gentleman's sport, right?
Yeah.
And this guy is cheating his ass off. So, hey, he didn't get the job.
Yeah.
I told the truth.
you exactly. You see that sometimes, like, you don't want to have that cynical thought of like someone blows their drive way left and they just run up ahead before anyone's even in their cart. And in your mind, you're going like, well, I hope he finds it. But in reality, it's like, he's never going to find it.
Yeah. Or you go
and then he's up there.
It, and when they see they got their ball, then you find their real ball and you just hold on to it. And then
or you get up on the green and you kind of do a little walk by to see what ball it was, and it's a top flight, and he's been playing Titleist, and you're like, this little shithead.
I have seen that over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
And I call him out. Who cares?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's one thing about golf. You gotta be honest. You're only hurting yourself.
There you go. You gotta protect the field, baby. Protect the field.
Well, man, it was nice having you on here, Brian. It was a pleasure. Getting to hear your story a little bit, and obviously your love for golf and the golf tournament that's going on.
Yes.
And so we appreciate your time. And if you want to tell the listeners again the link to head on over to for this golf tournament.
All right, it's LSM, that's Leonard Sports Management, Celebrity Events, .perfectgolfevent.com.
Okay.
Not an S, event, not events. Events are the celebrity events, but the perfect golf event, no S, .com. Yeah.
Very good. I love it.
Appreciate it.
Well, yeah, we'll have to stay in touch here. And Pep, you got to tap in, or are we not doing a tap in?
No, I got to tap in.
You got to tap in?
Yeah.
All right, so we're rounding this out, Brian. This is our final segment of the show called the Tap In segment, presented by Bettinardi Golf. Check them out online at bettinardi.com. Jonathan's going to ask you 4 questions that demand your quick response, and he'll take it away.
Well, I putt with Bettinardi, so let's go.
Do you?
Yes.
All right, that makes it easier.
Shoot.
So, what piece of advice would you give a young Brian Mitchell to live by?
Woo, boy. You don't have to challenge everything.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Favorite golf course you've played?
Favorite golf course that I played was Cascada in Las Vegas, or a little bit outside of Las Vegas.
I heard that clubhouse is sick. They got a river going through it.
Go right through the clubhouse. Yes.
All right. Dream foursome that can be dead or alive.
Dream foursome. Oh man, Muhammad Ali. Who's my favorite? Sam Snead and Tiger Woods.
Ooh,
that's a good foursome. All right. Last question. What are you chasing?
I'm chasing perfection. Everybody has. I mean, you'll never get to it, but if you're striving to get to it, you'll get better.
I love it.
That's good advice.
Brian Mitchell, thank you so much. And I love that you have that Super Bowl ring on. I might have to wear that one day if I'm allowed.
Yeah. When we tee it up, I'll make sure I wear
Look at that. I love it. I love it, man. Hey, we really appreciate your time, Brian.
All right, man. Thank you.
Well, that was a fun interview with Brian Mitchell. It's cool to see that he is still involved in his sport, and I think that's big for a lot of these athletes. You know, what am I going to do after I retire, right? What can I do? Well, a lot of them want to stay in the sports that they've played their whole entire life, and it's cool to see that he's got the pre and post game for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Awesome hearing what an energetic guy. And I think that's really something that we try to exhibit here on the show is that, look, we're more inclined to talk with people that are doing something. And he exhibits that. Great cause, great human being, loves golf. So what can you say?
I'd love to be at that Bloody Mary bar, boys. I'm a big Bloody Mary guy now, so.
I know. And that golf tournament, you guys check it out. It's actually happening this upcoming weekend. But it is for a good cause, so maybe next year put that on your radar if it's something you want to get involved in.
Yeah.
We're a little bit behind the eight ball on that, but happy to form a relationship with him and his PR group, and we'll see where that goes. But yeah, it's fun. We kind of got this. So Brian Mitchell wraps up today, and then looking forward to the next episode, we got Greg Camp coming on the podcast, Pep. Now, Greg Camp, this guy is the guy that Pep thought was the long driver down in Nashville. But he owns a outfitting company involved in a lot of hunts, per se, big game hunts. Mm-hmm. So he's done a lot of things like that. We've never really had someone that's been involved as a professional, quote-unquote, hunter or owning an outdoor apparel company like that. So it'll be kind of get his take a little bit.
Well, and I'm excited for us, too, because we've committed to our first duck hunt in mid-November. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Duck Hunter. That was a great game, by the way, on Nintendo. And if you need to you need to shoot some shells, bud?
Yeah,
I would love to. You got a shotgun? I got a nice shotgun.
I got to practice.
Well, take your butt up to Nemacolin. The Field Club at Nemacolin is rocking right now. They got all kind of clay pigeons, clay sports. You can set it up, do it as you want, shoot, or sit at their bar, have a drink. But that's at Nemacolin Resort in Farmington, Pennsylvania, south of Pittsburgh. A phenomenal destination, all 4 seasons. So you people out there listening from other states, part of the country, across the country, whatever you are, wherever you are, check out Nemacolin online at nemacolin.com, and I'm sure they have something for you. Because they have something for you, so that means everyone's included, man.
Everyone is
Thursday,
included.
We're wrapping it up here, guys. And it's been a fun episode, as always. Pep, what you got to say?
I don't got much more other than have yourself a great week. Chase them this weekend, and let's put a smile on our faces and walk around and make everybody's life a little brighter. Huh?
Let's do it.
And go chase them. Chasing_birdies. Wow, that was a good photo of you in the golf cart, by the way, this week. Looked like you had a hockey puck in your pocket. Had a nice Miller Lite, and you didn't play in the event, so it was great.
It was great. Just a participant. But I was there. PGA Tour this week, kicking off the Shriners Open at TPC Summerlin. And by the way, the new 2025 Pro V1 and Pro V1 X's will be in the field this week. So
did you see that? I did probably
see that,
played them before they did.
Probably. But you guys, thanks again for tuning in. Thank you to Ali, Evo, Emily over at Simpler Media putting this thing together. Jacqueline DiPaterio, Rachel London. Appreciate all y'all's help. And
wait a minute, dude.
What's that?
It's a big week. Happy birthday to you, kid.
There, that's 2 days away. Wow.
I know.
The 19th. Thanks.
Happy birthday to you, and I hope you do something special this weekend, and you deserve it. And I'm not going to put a picture collage together of you.
Please don't.
Of being my friend and all that, but this is the best you're going to get from me. Happy birthday to you and to another year, bud.
I appreciate it. I really do, bud, and thanks for the sincerity. I feel it. And that's that, guys. We're wrapping it up. Y'all enjoy your weekend. We'll catch y'all in... Well, actually, no, we won't catch you in 2. We'll catch you in 1. Ciao, ciao.